forgot our time because we moved the time around. Okay. New Perek Asiri. You have a home. One person lives below, one person lives above. The ceiling of the bottom one is the floor of the top one. And it fell down. They divide everything. The wood, the stones. If Rashi says, there are broken bricks. One of the parties say that the intact bricks are mine. And we see, based on the damage, which stones belong to above, which belong to below. Depends on what caused the fall. If the foundations of this house got weak, the nafal takta and the wall of the first story sort of fell where they were. Yesh ladasha tachtonis nishbru. So it's most of the broken bricks will be the bottom. Ulkach nafla bais. That's why the house broke. The nechba dakota la'alan. But if there was pressure from above, kemakel shaya omid zokov, like a stick that was standing straight v'nafal, that the uppers put pressure on the bottom, azal yonis nishbru. So it was the upper bricks that broke because they fell from a height, and when they've hit the ground, they break. That's how Rashi learns. And if somebody recognizes one of his bricks because he had written something on it, whatever, so he takes it, and then the other guy takes the other one opposite that. Meditani royin. So from the fact that the Brisa says we check, that you can check, because if it was like an earthquake, and the bottom is what shook, and that's why the top fell, or or the top sort of got loose because it was lost in balance or due to weight, and that sort of damaged the lower one. So if that's the case, if you can always check Yachi Reisha Amai, why does the Reisha say that you should divide it? Nextly, if it was because of heavy weight, and then it's the broken ones belong to the upper one. Ibachavta nafel, tatya itvar was the bottom that broke. So why are you dividing it? Check. More answers. Lo shricha the nafel b'leil. It fell at night, so we don't know what the cause of the fall is. V'lachzinu b'tzafra. Okay, wait in the morning, and we'll check in the morning. The faninu, they cleaned it up already. Okay, let's find the people who cleaned it and ask them. The people walking in Rosh Hashanah cleaned it up, and they went back to their homes. Let's see in whose reshus the stones are. The other guy has to bring proof. So the chatzir belongs to both of them. Or inamli b'rshus harabim, or it fell in Rishus harabim, where they both have the stake. These kind of partners who own a house like this, They're not makbid that they should divide evenly. Am I echad me'em makir? The Mishnah said if one of them recognizes their stones, he can take it. V'halo matoy. What does the other guy say in response to the one guy saying, I recognize the stone? If he agrees, so pshita, why is the davar pashut that he keeps it? Why would the Mishnah give me that? The imlo amar in, if he didn't agree, so lama noitel, why would the guy who claims it's his take it? What proof does he have? Ela da amar le'ani odeya. So one guy says, this is mine. The other says, I'm not sure. So based on that, we soymech on the guy who's sure. But then that's going to be a kasha, leimet evetiyuf to Rav Nachman, the Itmar. Monoli biyadcha. Reuven says to Shimon, you owe me $100. Shimon says, v'lo omer eni odeya. I'm not sure. Ravuna Ravida Amri, chayiv. He's not being makrish, he's not opposing what the other guy said. Rav Nachman Rav Yochanan Potter, he doesn't have to pay. So why not? Based on what we're laning, if he's silent, it's like an admission. So the Gemara says over there is the Kitin Omer of Nachman. Why does he have to pay? Because he has to take a shvua, and he can't take a shvua because he doesn't know. So then he has to pay. How's it nesek shvua? Kirova. Reuven says to Shimon, you owe me $100. No, I owe you 50. Now, if you're moide b'miktsas and you deny the other 50, then you take a shvua and you pay the 50. Here, he cannot take a shvua on the sha'ar because he doesn't know any odeya. So minadin Torah has to take a shvua, but he can't take a shvua. So mitok sheichol shavel yishalim. So he pays. The oil is sloim in acheshbon. And if he takes one of the stones that he thought were his, they continue dividing. Sover of Lememar, Lefi Cheshbon Ashvuros, the broken bricks. Alma Kivin Domer Eni Odeya, Rei Itfei, he's in a worse situation. Amar Abai Adarabba, Rei Itfei, he's a better. Midani Yade Itfei Lo Yoda, he knows this, he doesn't know the other. So everything will go to the other guy. They take the cheshbon of the intact bricks. How does that help him? The milvan Ravcha. We're talking about there was a mold that made the bricks that was very wide. So he ended up with wide bricks. Or inami tina de ma'avda. Or he gets the cement that's attached to the brick, so he benefits from that. Mishnah. Habayis v'aliyah v'nifchasa aliyah. The upper story broke. Vein balabayis rotz l'saken. The owner of the house doesn't want to fix it. Harei balalea yor v'dar lamato. The guy who lived upstairs can move downstairs. Achatikin l'saliyah until the guy who lives downstairs fixes the ceiling. Rav Yossi Oimer, hatachto noisin esatikra. The guy who lives on the bottom is responsible for the ceiling. Va'al yonis maziva, the covering, like the cement, the guy who lives upstairs has to provide. Now, we say that if the upper apartment got damaged, the guy who lives up there can move downstairs. Nifchasa bekama. What's the shear? Rav Amar Baruba, 50%. Shmuel Amar Ba'ar B'Tvachim. Rav Amar Ba'ar below. Because Adam Dar Chetziv L'mata V'Chetziv L'mala. a person will be willing to live with part of his apartment being below or lower. Because a person is not prepared to live that way. Ida Omar, if the renter, at the time he rented it, if Ida Omar Aliyah Zu, he said, I'm renting this second floor, so Azda, his chus to live there, it's still there, part of it, so he should live where he rented. Rather, Aliyah Stam, he just said an upstairs apartment. So that means a good one. So Lugale Achrisi. So the Balabayis should clearly rent him another one. The owner said, this second story that I'm renting you, Kisal Kasalik Bado, Bichinach Chos Bado. You're going to go up with it, you're going to go down with it. So that's the Tanai. I'm renting you the second story that's on top of my apartment. And therefore, there's a shibud for this upstairs apartment on the bais below. This grape branch that's on this apricot tree, the nekar parsek, and the apricot tree got uprooted. You have to plant another apricot tree, and so it has a base for the grapes that you're sold. As long as the grapevine exists. Now we're on Kuf Yud Zion, Mario.
You want me to stop and start?
Or again.
Hold on.